Yo guys, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and today we are training 41 minutes of chess. And today is a very, very big day because we finally got monetized on YouTube. So YouTube stopped trolling us and we finally made it. So yeah, I'm very, very happy, of course. But actually today, I think I've got a bit of a stomachache, and I think we're just going to be taking this stream quite chill. So definitely no classical game. And yeah, I think we're going to do a mix of maybe some woodpecker, but also we're just going to start working through these games. Oh, I need to make a note to add. Okay, I'm going to write this here. Artem Uskov game. So basically, as I said, I'm going to start or just try working with a new coach. And I wanted to send him some games of mine. So I basically tried to pick a bunch of games and try and show them in chronological order to show how my chess evolved. And so I'm going to need to add like some comments on the games. But not too many comments because obviously I don't want him to be like spending hours and hours going through everything. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do some work on this as well. But I think for now, let's just go with the woodpecker. So let's see where we're at. So yeah, we're on exercise 121. So let's try and get to 140, and then from 140 we'll switch it up. So yeah, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a good day as well. But yeah, let's go. So Spassky says, I had a good feeling for the critical moments of the play. This undoubtedly compensated for my lack of opening preparation and possibly not altogether perfect play in the endgame. Right, actually that's a really underrated point, that if you can identify the critical moment and be able to stop and think carefully at that moment, that's like a huge skill. Like, I remember reading somewhere that aside from like being good at calculation, equally as important is knowing when to calculate or knowing when to not calculate. So like these kind of decisions are really huge. So for instance here, I think we can just win an extra pawn, right? Because if they take on g7, we can take here. That looks probably worth doing. Unless they can take with the rook, and then when we take back, do they have like c4? Because the point is that they've got a pin here, right? So maybe d3 is what's going to be better. Yeah, that's a much better move. Okay, so then we can take... Yeah. Wow, it doesn't even give my line. But yeah, basically this is a little bit vulnerable, the knight and the queen, so makes sense. Okay, that's a nice one. Oh, I realize I'm blocking the screen. Okay, let's move me over. But yeah, I got monetized today, right? And it writes like what your predicted revenue is based on like the amount of streams, the amount of views that you get. And I've got a predicted revenue of 23 pence per month. So let's go. Those 23 pennies, it's gonna be so good. Can buy myself like a Freddo bar if I'm lucky. Probably can't nowadays. Probably can't. It's probably 25p for a Freddo. But still, it's a good start. So I'm trying to look at this. No, I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at this, sorry. But the problem is maybe they just play c6 and I've got nothing. I have no idea. I feel like this is useful, but then maybe the point is that right now we're under some trouble, right? So maybe this is like a defensive move. Nice. Oh, okay. Well, obviously they can't take because of mate. But c6. Oh, it's simply a piece down. We're a piece up in the starting position. Okay, didn't even pick up on that. That would be useful. Yeah, clock tree, let's go. Let's go. Honestly. Honestly. Like, if it wasn't for my stomachache, I'd be... And the fact that, like, I'm so exhausted today. I don't even know why. I would be way more... way more hyped by the fact that we finally got that. I mean... It was like, oh, I don't know, I was on the 3,000 watch hours, like, for so long. And, I don't know, maybe, like, before starting these streams, actually, so maybe, like, 100 days ago, I just said to myself, like, you know, if I slow down with YouTube, because, I mean, I have done in the past, like, there's been times where, like, I haven't, like, uploaded a video in, like, a year, right? So, I told myself, you know, if I like, slow down... When I've got so close to being monetized, it'll be so annoying. Like, just get there, just bang it out. So I'm very glad that I managed to persevere with that, and definitely the streams have helped a lot. I mean, like, to consistently post videos and edit videos, this is so rough. But yeah, the streaming is kind of just a bit more therapeutic and just a bit more chill, and I think it's nice to interact a bit with chat as well, so makes the whole experience a bit better, I think. But that's why, like, big YouTubers, they get people to edit their videos, right? They just make the content and then someone else can do the laborious work. And I mean, I actually do enjoy editing my own videos, but it's just a case of, like, if you have to do it every week, oh, then it becomes a real chore. So it's like, yeah. That's why streams are definitely easier. Quadru, how is your chess progress going? Your online rapid grinding? I haven't been keeping up with that. I reckon though, Quadri, like, from the games that I saw when you played C3 Venom, I feel like you're always getting fantastic positions. And the games that you were losing were just, like, a case of, like, conversion problems. So, I mean, I also have conversion problems, but probably, like, yeah, you fix that, then you're plain sailing. Like, I think your opening play is definitely strong enough to be making the next jump. Hello, Arjun. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, the big news today is we finally got monetized. I don't know why YouTube uses the most ugly sticker that I've ever seen. Like, what the hell is that? But yeah, we did it. We did it. Random question, but how would one go about starting a chess channel? That's a good question. That might be a YouTube video in itself. How to start a chess YouTube channel. I'm going to make a note of it, Arjun. That's actually a really good idea. Just going to steal your idea. Let me make a note. I mean, I'll answer your question as well. Yeah, maybe this could be a good video. But yeah, I mean, what I'd say is that you need to find a niche. And I think at the time of starting Chess Lifestyle back in the pandemic, I don't think there was really that much, like, chess training, kind of like adult improver, track your progress kind of channel. I mean, I think Chess Dojo had just started out. That's maybe something somewhat similar. But I think the difference between Chess Dojo and Chess Lifestyle is that, like, Chess Lifestyle I feel like is more of like a down to earth, how it's actually going kind of channel, whereas like Chess Dojo is more like, okay, this is how it should go, this is how we recommend it should go, this is what you should do. It's like a slightly different focus, right? So I think Chess Lifestyle has its niche. Like, I actually don't know another chess YouTube channel that is kind of like this, which is nice, right? And I think if you want to grow viewers, which is ultimately, I don't know, it depends what your point of wanting a chess channel is. So actually, let me ask you, Arjun, what do you want out of a chess channel? But yeah, I'd say if you want like at least semi-decent, consistent numbers. And I mean, like, I'm kind of really happy where the channel is right now. Like, I don't need it to be any bigger. But yeah, you kind of need a niche. So for instance, I remember there's like this guy, I don't even remember his name, but he literally was making videos exactly like a Gadmator. Like, same type of thumbnails, same type of like guy. Literally, they literally felt the same. And he did have like some viewers. He had like maybe like 5k subscribers, but it didn't feel like it was going to take off because the Gadmator has done it. And if people are watching a Gadmator, then they're not gonna watch another guy who's doing the exact same thing. So I think like trying to find your niche, and I think there definitely are still niches in terms of chess YouTube that you could definitely pick up on. For instance, I think like someone like keeping up with like all the chess drama, I think this would be an easily viral channel. And I'm just not bothered enough to like make a channel based on that. But like all of my videos that are ever like covering some kind of chess drama, they always like get rake in the views, right? Rake in the views. Yeah. Oh, this is just a fork. See, it takes me so long to get these. I'm really not looking at it, but I really need to just accept that a knight is good at forking pieces. See, as soon as I spot it, but now I'm like looking like really hard. Do I have a fork? Do we not just have like mate? This looks like really matey, right? And then queen check. Yeah, that leads to mate. What? Ain't no way that's wrong. You've got to be kidding me. Is it the fact that it's mate in 2 instead of mate in 3? Like, if that's the case, piss off. Yeah, exactly. Wait, what? Hold on. Rook h1 is definitely winning. King g8, rook h8, king takes, queen h6. King g8. Oh my god. Wait, so king g8, and then queen takes g6. King h8, queen h6, and just king g8. Oh my god. Oh, this is why I don't play for mating attacks. I actually suck at this. Thank you, Lucas, for the nice haircut. Yeah, I cut it in yesterday's stream, so we got all the comments about the hair out of the way. Yeah, exactly. King g8, Sherry. Nice spot. Oh man. I think some more academic research chess channel would go down really well. Interesting. I mean, like, you've got Matthew Sadler, who I think that's the first person that comes to mind when someone talks about research in chess. Like, I think he's doing some really interesting stuff there. David Smurden is doing, but in YouTube form. Aha. I didn't realize David Smurden's doing a lot of chess research. I know he had that course, like something to do with swindling. Like a swindler's handbook, chess swindler's handbook or something. Got a rating refund from a cheater yesterday. That's nice, Kwakchu. Ah, you haven't played in a while? Ah, man, you need to get back to it. I just heard coverage issues. I definitely did not say that. How am I doing, Josh? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Except for the stomachache, things alright. Yeah, Sadler is great. A squared? Safsaro? What? Is that a typo? Okay. Spassky. So, the general rule, you know what? I'm just gonna blindly play this move. I'm not even calculating. Blindly play this move. The reason why is because there's a rule. When you have 2 rooks on the 7th plus an additional piece, you're always checkmating. So if you can see that another piece can join the attack, then it's always going to lead to mate. So here we've got 2 different mates. So like, I didn't even need to calculate because it always... Okay, it doesn't always, so you should calculate, but just wanted to prove the point that, yeah, you can get a long way with that little one, that little trick. Oh god, I'm so tired. I don't know why I'm so tired today. I really can't think why. By the way, actually, general life question for you guys: are you guys like have you guys found a way to like be consistent in terms of your energy levels day to day? Like, or do you also have random days where you're just like especially tired, and then random days where you just have full of energy? Like, I mean, I probably, you know, like have like some diagnosis for ADHD or something which I don't know about, but I don't know if like how fluctuating is it for you guys, or is it fairly normal? Because I mean, this has been something for like my whole life, and I just assumed that it's just everyone has it, but I actually don't know. Like, I could very well believe that it's like a specific ADHD problem or something. I also, oh, I'm just trapping a bishop. I also don't know if ADHD is, well, I'm not trapping a bishop. Oh my god, it was correct. I thought I was trapping a bishop, but he just took the pawn. Okay, I'm very lucky. Wow. That was complete luck. That was absolute luck. I literally thought I was just trapping a bishop. So here there's definitely some checkmates threatened, so I need to be careful. A move that comes to my mind is rook e4 and then play f5. Like, I don't know if it's enough. Feels like it isn't, because I feel like the king is quite safe on h8. But that's like the direction of where I'm thinking right now. Maybe bishop takes g6 is actually just very clean, because then we can just bring the rook in and that looks a lot more devastating. Yeah, that has to be winning. Okay. But yeah, these kind of like, this has to be winning mentality is kind of bad. Like, you remember that checkmate that I missed where I played like rook h1 instead of queen h6? Like, this kind of like assumption, I mean, that is kind of what the woodpecker is about, like trying to build in the right patterns. But you also need to make sure that you're quick to understand what's a wrong pattern. And that does require some basic calculation, I think. So I do need to try and calculate a little bit. Oh, I said conversion issues and you had convergence. I see, I see. Napping helps. 1 hour naps. Interesting, interesting. I've also heard about how, like, you know, some people like swear by like half an hour naps. Then you've also got the people who talk about like sleep cycles, which is every hour and a half. So yeah, I have no idea. Napping got me through university though. Like, whenever I'd have like a 2 hour lecture, where it would be like 1 hour and then another 1 hour, and there'd be like a 10-minute break in between, I'd always make sure to go with a friend, and I would proper like get out like an eye mask and everything. Proper power nap before the next lecture, and I'd be completely fresh. So maybe that's a good point. I don't take naps anymore. Maybe I should. I mean, also life is too short not to be taking naps. I feel like naps are just so good. I mean, sleep is just so good. Like, why shouldn't we just nap? Like, it's so long to be awake for 24 hours in a day. Like, let's just like have half days and like sleep more. Right. Oh, what the hell is this position? See, that's why chess is so much easier than chess puzzles like this, because I'm never gonna get into like these ridiculous positions that require clever thinking. Nah, I just want to play some basic setup, some nice boring chess. Oh, okay, so probably we can take him and take, right? Because then the bishop's pinned. I mean, I don't even know how you spot that. I mean, maybe I guess by looking at all your captures. Like, probably that helps. Because otherwise, everything looked fairly solid, right? So it's not so easy. Oh, just played 70 moves of theory in a rapid game is the best feeling ever. Amazing, Lucas. That's really cool. What opening was it where you had 17 moves of theory? I think for me, my energy is much higher during the summer when there's more sunlight. Interesting. Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm tired, actually, because I've just been doing more today. Because it was such a nice day, right? Like, I was just out and about. So, Yeah, I think maybe that's why. As opposed to just sitting at my desk doing chess like all day. Where I'm not like moving. Oh, stalemate? I think we'll take a stalemate here. Yeah, so if the king takes it, stalemate, and if king f5 keeps the game going but it's an easy draw anyway, I mean, I wouldn't know. Queen d2 is a complicated way to draw, okay, fair enough. Is this what was played? It surprised the whole Swedish team when we learned this at... Oh, okay, no, he's just talking about his own experience. But okay, fair. Okay. Oh, maybe that was like a cute stalemate with Queen d2, but whatever. Honestly, whatever. It's not worth our time. I've got ideas of like trying to make knight g6 work, but how? Okay, I've got to ask another question for you guys. I broke my leg and got food poisoning. Safsara, what? How? That's rough. Catalan, I see. Damn. I didn't know you played Catalan. I guess like we played a Benoni, so I guess that avoids a Catalan. What's the longest prep I've ever had? Probably some wing gambit prep. Probably pretty deep. But I don't know about 17 moves. 17 moves is a lot. I also got some Rosalimo prep back when I was doing Sicilian, playing Sicilian. That was pretty sweet. Maybe we just take on a2. Is that good enough? That might be good enough. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Because, okay, I don't think, like, you know, my future opponents are ever gonna find this. Is that right? Yeah, like, I don't think they're gonna find this. But I basically came to the conclusion recently that with the black pieces, for a while, I've been, like, debating what I should be preparing and playing in my summer tournaments, right? Because I'm playing in the Dortmund Open and hopefully the Prague Open. And I can't really stick to the Garganitsa for every game. I mean, if you saw my most recent video where I asked Grandmaster Grigor Grigorov some difficult questions about chess improvement, he basically said that, yeah, you need to play something else. And he actually recommended the French defense. I can't play the French because my defense is too shit. So he didn't know that about me. So, I mean, otherwise the French would be a good recommendation, but no, the French is just too... You need to be good at defending, and I just can't. So... Oh, we went 2 pieces there, I think. Oh, okay. What the hell is that? Maybe I take on f4? But then they take with the rook, but then I can take. But then they take here, what? Oh wait, maybe I take like this. And if they take here, then I take... Go check. I think this is fine. This is good. And what's the move here? Oh, I just win the piece at the end. Okay, this was really lazy. This was poor calculation. I don't know. It felt right, but maybe I should have looked at all of these lines carefully. It just felt like the right move to play. I have a stomachache, guys. Allow it. Allow it. Okay, that's just winning a queen. What did I even ask? What did I even ask? Oh, we got semi-banned? What does semi-banned mean? Let's have a look, actually. What does semi-banned mean? Oh yeah, I talked about, like, yeah, I didn't even finish what I was saying. Basically, I was saying about what openings I should play, right? So I said not the French. And the thing is, I basically had this, like, 2... Wait, did he get banned or not? Oh, I did see this, right? It's so funny. He started playing, like, actual games on his account, and he was just getting completely crushed. Oh, cheat detected. Oh. Interesting. Ah. But isn't he completely lost here? This was just garbage play. That was actually garbage play. So that's... so maybe he got into this position and then turned on Stockfish or something. I don't know. Cheat detected. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah. But yeah, basically, yeah, with the opening then, I want to have something serious that's objectively sound to play as well as the Gurganitsa Modern, because otherwise people will prep it hard and it's not going to be nice playing against like 2300s who are like sweating out the Gurganitsa prep. So basically, this looks like a good move. I needed to make a choice of whether to try and main Caracal or try and main Sicilian. And I forgot a conclusion that I came to a long time ago, but it's definitely the correct conclusion, which is when I play chess, if I can play solidly and with control, this is probably my best chess, which is why like 1c3 Venom has worked so well for me, like ever since switching. And that's why also the Reti was like a better opening for me than 1e4, because 1e4 is just a little bit too loose for my liking. But with the black pieces, what I found was like when I play Caracal, if my opponent plays very critical attacking lines, I can get extremely passive with my play. And I found that this is actually worse than if I were to play like aggressively and play with the initiative with black. So I found that, yeah, when I'm playing the white player, I want to play with the initiative and aggressively because it kind of takes them aback a bit. And I think that's where my best chances lie. Definitely I need to up my calculation game, but I do plan to be training the calculation in the week or 10 days before my first tournament. So I feel like I'm going to be sharp enough to handle it. So for that reason, I'm going to be bringing back my Sicilian. And actually, like, yeah, my Sicilian lines, I forgot how good they were. I kind of came off it a bit, but I think, like, for instance, my lines against Alapin, my lines against Amora, my lines against Rosalimo, like, there was a long time where I was not so satisfied with my preparation. But now, I mean, having looked over all my lines, basically, like, I forgot how strong they were. So I'm basically going to bring back some Sicilian in my play. And I've also came to some conclusions about how to meet the Reti and the English, which has been, like, some problem for a while. But, yeah, I've got some nice conclusions there as well. So I think... Oh, no! This is why... What? Are we down material here? Knight of 6? Queen f6? Wait, what? Oh, there's knight e2. Bugger. Knight e2 forking our king and queen. Bastard. So we have to take the knight first and then play knight f6. Okay, that's it. We got to... No, we're doing another 10. We're doing another 10. Like, it's actually unacceptable not to be calculating better. Wait. Knight f6, if pawn takes the queen, take the queen. Okay, let's actually calculate these. What? I guess I take the rook then? Yeah, okay, we're gonna try calculate better. Alright, let's do some more. Wait, what is everyone chatting? How is this cheating? What? So I think Sherry, probably the guy turned on Stockfish. At that moment, right? He was probably playing by himself and then realized, like, yeah. Oh, you challenged him and he ignored you, Lucas? Yeah. Honestly. Kids got issues. Kiri Nidal, of course? Absolutely not. Never in a million years. Ah, what type of Sicilian? Okay. I've actually got a very, very spicy Sicilian line in the open Sicilian, which I'm currently doing some work on. I don't know if I'm gonna make it like, if I'm gonna settle on it, but I've kind of got this plan that when I play these two tournaments, right, most of my players are probably gonna be preppable, right? Like they're gonna have online profiles, they're gonna have like lots of games. So I'm gonna try and use my best judgment to decide, do I want to be playing a Gurgenitsa Modern against this guy or a Sicilian? And I think depending on what Sicilian they play, I will be able to make a good call as well. So for instance, if they play a Grand Prix attack, Gurgenitsa Modern will literally crush every Grand Prix attack player. But a Grand Prix attack against Sicilian is probably working, right? In like practical terms. So this is where I would like make those calls. So I think like I can kind of like avoid lines that I don't want to meet. But of course, you know, my opponent might surprise me, play something that I wasn't expecting. So I do need to have a complete repertoire. But it does mean I can cut corners a little bit. And hedge my bets, basically. So bishop takes c5 looks good. Bishop takes c5, b4 is the idea. And I want to try and calculate this properly. Like, does this really work? Bishop c5, b4, knight d7. But then we can always take, knight takes, and then queen c2. Looks really good. So I think this looks fine. Knight d7, only critical move. bc5, queen c2. Let's go. Proper calculation. That's what I like to see. Okay. So if we just take on e2, they take on e7. We go king h8. Are we not winning the rook in the corner? Looks fine. Oh my god. And I've got like a swollen lip where I've kept biting my lip and I just bit it again. Oh man. Bishop d6. Moving the threat and piece out of danger with a threat. Bishop e2. Knight e7? Oh, I can't count. In the starting position, there's 4 pieces for white and only 3 for us. Oh, it's so important to be able to count. Oh my god. This is the problem though. When you're feeling like a bit sick or you're a bit tired, your calculation goes to shit. So this is why it's also like very important to have like multiple repertoires that you can play. Because like, let's say you get tired or you're sick in the tournament, right? If you have to play like the sharpest Sicilian opening or like some super sharp game, it's just not going to go well. Like, you've got much better chance of playing like a Gurgenitsa Modern or like a Caro-Kann. Well, not a Caro-Kann, because if they know like some sharp theory, then you also need to know your stuff. But still, maybe Caro-Kann compared to a Sicilian is better, right? So yeah, like today, if I were to be playing a game, I'd be trying to minimize as much calculation as possible. Like, holy crap. Okay, oh yeah, the move was bishop d6. And now we can take. Why is the line continuing? Are we not just picking this up? Yeah. Okay, so what did people say? I tried learning from that course, and I honestly don't retain anything because he speaks way too quickly, and I don't think he explains it well enough for me. I understand why I'm a 1600 pleb. Honestly, I looked at the chessable course, like the contents of it, and it is the most like unaesthetic like chapter list that I've ever seen. Like if you compare it to like let's compare it to like my course. Like look how neat this is, right? You've got all of the chapters numbered, you've got the introduction, you've got the Caro-Kann reverse lines, the model games, the advanced material, the London system lines, the model games, the advanced material, the bonus sections. Like there is structure to the course, right? Gary's course just looked like a bunch of random ass variations. I mean, okay, I realize there's some structure to it, but just like, it's brutal. It's brutal, man. Like, you gotta have like really good memory and just, I don't know, be a 2500 pleb, I guess. Please share how to meet Reti in English. Go on, I'll show it. I'll show it. So let me see if I can freestyle it. The basic thing that I understood was that Well, you kind of need to make use of like what opening knowledge you know. And the thing is that I know some classical Dutch, right? And the thing is, against English, what you can do, I think I'm gonna try this setup again, which I kind of stopped for a while. Let's play e5, and the point being is that if they play like knight c3, I'm gonna play knight c6, and I don't know what they want to do. They can play with knight f3, they can play with g3, but I want to start with bishop e7. Okay, here it's not actually so important, but basically play with f5 and play for this classical Dutch kind of setup against a line where white is playing in a more typical English kind of style. And the reason why I like this bishop e7 move particularly is against moves like knight f3, because or maybe it's not here. I think there was like some ideas where I wanted to be able to meet d4 with d6, basically, and be able to take back with the bishop here. Because yeah, there's sometimes like ideas where you might want to push, like for instance, maybe it's not d4 immediately here. I don't know what to recommend. Maybe it's like this position where they push d4, and you can play e4, but I never like playing this kind of overextended setup, and I much prefer to play a move like d6, right? So we can get this setup and I can take back with the bishop, so I don't lose castling rights. So I like this idea of playing with bishop e7 first before playing f5. And I think this works really well against the English, because if you try and do it against Verratti, the issue is that you can't play e5, right? And if you play knight c6, well, they can play d4, and then you can't play e5, you have to play like Shigarin. And if you play for f5 immediately, then you need to know theory in like you know, classical Dutch, right? Like real Dutch, where white plays d4, which is a little bit more dubious. But here you're getting like really ideal Dutch conditions where white doesn't even get in d4, which means like the setup is a lot less critical. So I think this is like a really easy solution. And I know I have a student that I actually recommended them not to play like this, because I was saying how, like, you know, you basically have to play for the attack. And I basically came to this conclusion more recently about my chess, that like I think playing with the initiative does work when there is good chances for it, and also like the English player doesn't like being attacked like this. Because I basically had a really brutal game recently where I actually saw my opponent was playing c4 g3, so I prepped b6, and I saw that he didn't play d4. And this is why I don't recommend like playing like moves like this is why against the English I can't really play like in the style of a hedgehog here. Well, firstly, you know, I can't already play this because white's already getting this. But let's say I were to play in the style of a hedgehog here with like c5, not c5, sorry, with b6, and hope that they play like, I don't know, knight f3, and then we get this like English kind of setup, because white can always play d4, and then suddenly I'm playing like a Queen's Indian, right? So this is why like I need to make sure that I'm not getting transposed into d4. So against the English, I can play e5, and then there's no d4 transposition. But on knight f3, there is, right? With f5 or yeah, I don't want to play knight c6 because I'm not guaranteed e5. So against knight f3, what I'm playing is I have knowledge of this Benoni or hedgehog. So here actually, then I think knight f6 is good. And the point being is that if they play d4, I get my Benoni. If they play c4, then I get I can play c5. And the point is, if they ever play any g3, I'm very quick to play b6, and we can get this. And yeah, what I was saying was that against the English, basically I had this situation where I played knight f6, he played knight c3. Okay, no, we basically transposed to this. I played with b6, and the point being was he didn't play d4 because he's not a d4 player, but he played e4. How did this go? Something like this, and he played like g3. I played c5. I wanted to get this like hedgehog structure. Played knight e2, I played e6. We got something like this, right? Like I wanted to get this hedgehog, I wanted him to play d4, take, and then I'd play bishop e7, queen c7, knight d7, castles, and I was looking forward to this kind of hedgehog game. I played the move d3 here. I was like, okay, so what? It's just like a less ambitious move. And then he just played with f4. And then he just went for f5 immediately. And this was such an ugly position for me. It was actually so horrible. Like, I really hate the space advantage that white has gained on this side of the board. And, you know, if white just shuts down any b5 counterplay, like, this is just a really, really horrific close position that you have to play. So what I kind of realized was that this kind of hedgehoggy stuff, I think works a lot better when d4 is in the position. So that's why after knight f3, I think my solution is to play knight f6. And then if they play d4 c5, and I get my Benoni, so this is fine. If they play with c4, I play c5. And here I don't really have to worry about... well, if they play g3, I can play b6. And at some point, they will probably want to play with d4. And then I'll just take, and then we'll get our hedgehog. And if they do play in a way like knight c3, and they try and play for e4, here I think it's a little bit more dodgy. So we can play b6 anyway. They can play e4, I can play d6. And if they really want to play d3, they can. But here we see that the knight is already developed on f3. And that means like if I am going to play some like hedgehoggy type formation, and white decides to play this really like weird looking setup with the knight still on f3 instead of on e2, this feels definitely worse. Because like in these kind of positions, like I need like some tempi to finish my setup. And it feels really slow for like white to, I don't know, like play like h3, knight h2, and do something like this. I don't know. It feels a bit too slow. It's probably playable. But yeah, here we can even play knight c6, I think, in this setup and go for this. Like it definitely feels like it's a lot more awkward of a setup, and I think I'd be more comfortable playing this, maybe even just playing in the center faster. So I don't think, the point being is like in this position, like knight c3 is the main move, but no, sorry, not b6 here. I want to play e6 because basically I would prefer that we don't go for e4. And I think against e6, like you can see, e4 is just played like 7% of the time, or in Masters database even 5%. So it's very uncommon. Everyone's playing g3, in which I'll play b6. I'm gonna get my hedgehog structure. And yeah, this is going to be great. I'm going to be happy with this. So yeah, that's the English and Reti solved. But the thing is, you really need to basically come up with a system that's flexible with your current repertoire against probably d4. Like you want to fit it with d4 more than e4. I think e4 is hard to achieve. That's why I don't play like the modern against like knight f3 or c4. Because like white can just play it like a d4 game. And I really don't like playing modern against d4 setups. So, yeah, there's your answer, Arjun. No worries, no worries. Oh god, I'm so behind on chat. Your FIDE ratings, yeah, Arjun, 1850. I didn't realize, Arjun. That's pretty sick. Congrats. Man, I'm tired of chess. This is the wrong stream for you, Sherry, if you're tired. Do you play with the viewers? I don't know. What course is this? That was really harsh. I mean, I sometimes do, but not today. I'm exhausted. This is the woodpecker method. So I've basically been going through some of these. And the idea is that you want to do a whole set of puzzles and then do the same set in half the time and then half the time and then half the time. I don't know if I'm doing it necessarily properly, but it's still good to just like do a bunch of tactics every now and then. What's going on here? But I feel like in terms of like developing ideas against like certain openings, you don't really know if it works till you try it. So I think you've just got to try it, and then you'll understand better. Maybe it's this. As ridiculous as that sounds, they can't take with the king if they take with the queen. Oh, we got knight h5, the knight forks. I don't see knight forks. We're gonna have to keep doing these puzzles until I start seeing a knight fork. It's really important. I seem to remember getting this one wrong. When I did it in the past. Yeah, wasn't it like some insane like check and then queen f2? I actually do remember this pattern. Wow. Maybe woodpecker does work. Because I genuinely did not see that in the past, but now I do. That was the insane pattern, because you've got like real pressure here, right? I think that was it. It's queen f2. Unbelievable. Yeah, I was never spotting this in the past, but this is a nice one. Anything more than 200 lines and I probably won't ever finish. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Magnus is Sveshnikov. Now Christian Selecki has a nice course on that. But yeah, I was actually thinking that I might do like a stream for like my Patreon members and YouTube members and cover the whole Sicilian that I plan to play. I don't know how many hours that will take. It'll probably take like 5 hours. And I don't even know if like the Patreon subs or YouTube members would even be interested in that. But I was thinking about these kind of ideas today. So I realized like basically I'm not doing enough content for the YouTube members or Patreon subs. Like it kind of sucks for them. I don't know why they're paying. Like I think they're doing it more just to help support the channel more than anything else. But I do feel like I should probably give a bit more back. Nice. Yeah, that was the point, right? They can't take on d3 because of queen a1. And okay, let's make this the last one because I do want to go through at least like 1 or 2 games with you guys. What the hell is this? I guess the problem is that if I take here, they do have queen f6 and maybe some pipette. Oh, so rook g1 might be strong. If rook g1, no. Queen f3, no. I really want to play queen g2 mate. Even queen f1 would be decent. Oh, we can just take on h2. King takes them and rook h5. Oh my god. I never see like lawnmower mate like in the middle game. But that's a nice move. But yeah, let's take a look at one of these games. I am going to get a glass of water. I will be back in 2 seconds. Some good ASMR for you guys. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem with Lifetime Repertoire. They don't organize it in a way that you can tailor your study to your own level, right? I think it's crazy how ambitious people go with these Lifetime Repertoires. It looks like with your 1c3 course, you've delineated, that's definitely a maths term, I don't know what that means, between the main part of the course and the advanced material. Chessmood also does this and definitely helps. Yeah, exactly. That was my goal. And actually I do think like my repertoire with 1c3, you can play it for life. Like I really think it's legit. Like with making use of the advanced material, I think it would apply for a lifetime repertoire. I played a kid. Well, just play kid against Reti and English. I mean, you will need to learn like different theory, but yeah, I think it would be fine. 2281 FIDE. I am nice, Sherry. Nice. You made a. Didn't we chat yesterday or something? Was that the same guy? No, that's the CM. I spoke to the CM who crushed everyone on the puzzle racer. No, that's cool, Sherry. Congrats. What's your opening rep? Sheezy. I like kid against main positions, but not against Reti in English. That's music to my ears, Arjun. I mean, I can completely understand though, because it is very different. Like, often the positions are way more open. So yeah, I can understand. I think go for the Dutch, actually. The Dutch is just such a strong opening to play against Reti in English, and it's very similar. 93 Puzzle Racer is crazy, right? Unbelievable. Like, I can't even move the pieces that quick. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And to think, like, a guy has, like, that level of tactical ability and then his ratings aren't too dissimilar to mine. It's, like, it's crazy how, like, different strengths of player can, you know, just lead to, like, different levels of play. Hey, thank you, all in. Road to M, let's go. Nah. Road to degeneracy, let's go. Because my ECF is on the decline. I actually dipped below 2000 ECF for the first time in 10 years. Like, how awful was that? That's actually so bad. And to be fair, I lost to this 1800 guy who used to be like, I think he used to be like 2200. And he's like 80 years old. And he could barely walk. Like, he was, like, I don't know. I mean, it's a bit harsh to say like it was probably one of his last games, but he played a sick game. He played a sick game, like, literally played perfectly. It was such a good game. So what to do? What to do? What to do? But yeah, just to show you one game, actually, and to show you kind of how far I've come. Basically, the study I wanted to make for a potential chess coach, just so he can get an understanding of my games. And I wrote here, this was one of my first competitions representing England. So yeah, I represented England juniors. I remember being very proud of this game. I was 16 years old. And my opening repertoire looked like this. So I played with French for 5 years, Benoni for 5 years, and Reti with double fianchetto for 2 years. Having looked over this game, still very proud. Very nice game, clean conversion. And honestly, yeah, it was a fantastic game from me. This was representing England. I was playing Ireland in McGloney Cup. And yeah, he played King's Indian. And I used to have this really sweet line in the French against this, where basically I'd play knight f6. And I used to think that maybe more players should just push e5 here, but for some reason they don't. Oh no, sorry, not push e5 there. Pushing e5 here would be lovely because I can just play with c5 still. But in this position, you've got this interesting move, knight c6. And I thought here, to be honest, e5, I don't know if it's... Yeah, it's even a move here, but back in the day, no one ever played e5. I wonder if people play e5 nowadays. See, they don't, right? 8% of games. But, so even as like a young 16-year-old, I kind of understood like... I don't know if Engine was recommending e5 back in the day, but I understood that it was like kind of a testing move, and no one played it. But everyone would play g3, and this was lovely, because then that was the whole point of knight c6, which is to take and play e5. So you get this e5 structure where white has played this naf g3, and basically I just develop all my pieces to very legit squares. I make sure that b4 is not possible, and I kind of knew the setup with the bishop on a6, the queen on e7. I think I used to put my bishop on e6, but I found that the bishop on a6 is just better. Like, you've got more plans. And I just developed every piece. Okay, we traded bishops. I just put my rooks on the open file. I put my queen on a slightly better square. I infiltrated with my rook. Kicked away his piece. And then I found a very nice plan, which was basically to bring this knight to f4. And this was a very nice calculation because the point is that I can basically enter like this. And even though I sack a piece, this was all engine correct. Oh, I'm winning back this piece anyway. So yeah, like this is just a very nice attack. And yeah, this was just some nice calculation and a nice win. And I really was proud of the conversion here, right? Like I played rook d2. I traded, and I even took here. Like what a cute move, right? And then I was able to take, and then just trade and promote. Just not giving him any chances at all. And here he resigned. So this was just a really nice game. And this is kind of like where I felt like, you know, I was like doing really well in the French. Like whenever like, you know, I'm not getting checkmated, I would have a really good game. So this was like really nice. But incredibly, in the same tournament, I played this game. And, you know, honestly, I wouldn't play too differently nowadays in terms of like my setup against this kind of structure. I'd probably play with e6 a bit earlier, so I'm ready to meet this with taking on d5. But basically, I wouldn't play too dissimilar to this opening, and I get a fine position out of the opening. But the thing is here, around here, like I went for this crazy move here. I took on d3, and I would never play this like nowadays. I would never play taking on d3. Because I mean, even intuitively speaking, this move just looks so good. And it's literally not even like a free move calculation. I'm just losing a piece. Because we trade pieces here. I hit the queen, and he hits my knight. And how am I supposed to deal with this? Like, I do this, and I'm literally just down a piece. Like, it's crazy. And yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, obviously I lost this game. So basically I was just making the point that, yeah, like calculation has always been somewhat of a weak point. And this is me like almost 1900 and still making like 2 move calculation errors. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, maybe tomorrow in tomorrow's stream, I want to kind of add like a summarizing paragraph like this at the start of each game, and neaten up some of the games because I've got like some random annotations here and there. But these are basically all of the games, like some really like notable games of my chess career that I kind of wanted to show just to kind of give an idea of like my flaws and also my strengths as a player. So I think we're going to be going through all of these. And obviously there's going to be many that I missed. But yeah, I think it's good to have this collection anyway, even if like things don't take off with this coach. I think like it will be a useful exercise anyway. So I think, guys, I am going to call it a day. I'm so tired. But the big news for today is, of course, the fact that we are now monetized on YouTube, which is unbelievable. The road to monetization has been completed. I've never dipped below 2,000. That is true, Josh. That is a very true statement. And that is the line you play. Gary recommends the line. Do you play the French, Lucas? I didn't know you played the French, but I think the French kind of suits you actually. I can believe it. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm gonna sleep so well tonight. And yeah, busy day of work tomorrow. So thank you, Arjun, for the congratulations. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for more Woodpecker and maybe some look at these games. Okay, see you guys around. Bye.